Chapter 51 Why Are You So Strong? You are listening at NovelsMyriad. Even if Hu Shou is successfully promoted to a professional-level warrior, it may still be a bit difficult to fight a professional-level monster in a one-on-one battle. After all, the difference in physical attributes is there. However, Hu Shou overturned this iron law. The elixirs in the boss's shop are really good stuff. Huzari panted slightly, and the movements of his hand sped up a bit. Hu Shou had been taking Xiao Yongli Dan and Xiao Feng Su Dan long before they appeared. Otherwise, with just a furious sword, the attack power has increased, but the attributes are still not able to catch up with the stone-breaking ape. Then there would be no way to suppress the stone-gravel demon ape so quickly like now. The attack power is enough. Hu Shou took a deep breath. The reason why he was so late was because he was still wandering around in the cloud forest. The most important thing is to get familiar with the passive skills of the Furious Great Sword. The effect of becoming more courageous as you fight does not have a quantitative data on the superimposed attack power. It all depends on the user's own experience. However, after getting used to it, Hu Shou came to like this Furious Sword more and more. The Seal of the Brave appears on the back of Hu Shou's hand, then it quickly wrapped around the Furious Sword. Brave level skill, heavy slash, strengthen your next slash, making it explode with more powerful destructive power. Shua, the Furious Sword wrapped around the Seal of the Brave exploded with terrifying power, and with the help of the skill effect of getting braver as he fought, it collided with the stone-breaking ape's fist. Then, in the astonished eyes of the Blood Wolf team, they smashed the stone-breaking ape's fist and split it into two. A lot of blood was spilled. However, Hu Shou continued to swing his Furious Sword and picked out the magic core of the stone-breaking demon ape. However, the movement doesn't look very skilled yet, and it seems that it has only been practiced recently. I got another magic core. I really want to get that giant axe quickly. Hu Shou said to himself and put the magic core in his arms. The members of the Blood Wolf team were so stunned that they were speechless for a long time. This professional-level monster that almost led to the destruction of their Blood Wolf team died like this. Is this really the monster just now? Hu Shou, have you passed the professional class trial recently? Shui Lang dragged his weak body and slowly walked over. Of course not. Hu Shou has no habit of hiding his strength. Then how? Shui Lang pointed at the broken stone demon ape that had turned into two pieces on the ground. He really didn't know how to describe it. Well, it's mainly because I changed my weapons. Hu Shou laughed and said in a casual tone, there is no intention of hiding anything. Weapons? Shui Lang couldn't understand what the relationship between strength and weapons could be. Of course there are pills. Although the black-hearted boss's pills are a bit expensive, they are still very effective. Hu Shou nodded. Elixir? Shui Lang was now even more confused. Yes, the elixir. After putting away the magic core, Hu Shou glanced at the Blood Wolf again and said seriously, however, your internal injuries this time are not light. We are unlucky. A powerful monster like the stone-breaking demon ape is exactly the type to restrain our team. Shui Lang smiled bitterly and shook his head. This time's internal injuries, even with healing potions, would probably take more than 10 days to recover. Oh, just in time, just think of it as a rare rest. Shui Lang laughed at himself, and then said, by the way, what is the pill you mentioned? He's still thinking about it. Chapter 52 The gap between you and the strong is just a pill. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. Elixirs are good things. You'll know after you try them. Hu Shou generously took out a healing pill. What is this? Shui Lang took the small porcelain bottle and asked in confusion. Healing pill, used to heal wounds. Healing, Hu Shou, you can't be deceived. You don't use healing potions to heal your wounds. Instead, you use these weird things. Shui Lang couldn't help but tease. However, based on the relationship between the two, Shui Lang did not doubt that Hu Shou would harm him. Although he joked about it, Shui Lang still took the healing pill. In an instant, a warm current appeared in the Blood Wolf's body and began to repair his internal injuries. In just a few breaths, the internal injuries that were serious enough to affect the movement of Dochi were completely repaired. Healing pill, Xue Lang's hand holding the small porcelain bottle was trembling. What kind of magical elixir is this? It can be said to be a miracle medicine. This miraculous healing effect is probably only comparable to the potions refined by those great alchemists in ancient times. Blood Wolf couldn't even imagine how precious this elixir was. Yes, healing pill. Hu Shou nodded to confirm. You are actually willing to let me use such a precious elixir. If you have anything to do in the future, just tell me. We, the Blood Wolf team, will definitely not refuse. The Blood Wolf firmly held the small porcelain bottle containing the healing elixir and said seriously. Precious? No way, there are still a lot of them in the Black-Hearted Boss shop. Hu Shou looked at Xue Lang in confusion, as if he didn't understand what he said. That tone was like saying something natural. A lot. Xue Lang was also stunned. When did this world become so crazy? This magical medicine can actually be produced. Such a precious elixir is a life-saving treasure for mercenaries like them who are walking on the edge of life and death. However, there are still a lot of such precious elixirs. It's just a lot. Boss Blackheart's shop is in Yinwu City, and the elixir mentioned before was also bought there. Hu Shou nodded. Then I also talked about the effects of several other elixirs. You mean, the reason why you were so strong just now is because you took the little brave power pill and the little wind speed pill? Xue Lang pinched himself hard, trying to prove that this was a dream. Yes. However, Hu Shou nodded and took out several other elixirs. By the way, he also released his own aura, level 36, it's even one level lower than the Blood Wolf. However, just relying on these elixirs, Hu Shou was able to fight against professional class monsters in a duel. The rest of the Blood Wolf team had long been dumbfounded. It turns out that the difference between me and the strong man is just one pill. Or rather, there are several pills missing. On the other side, Qi Lu followed the direction pointed by the violent bear and continued walking into the cloud forest. We've come so far, why haven't we encountered any magical beasts that can be used as materials? Qi Lu scratched the back of his head and threw the 1,000 machine ball in his hand. Although I also saw some monsters along the way, however, the materials to be collected for this mission are still somewhat insufficient. After all, the first monster was the Split-Wind Wolf King. The materials collected later must not be lower than this level at least. There is movement ahead. Looking at the energy fluctuations, this monster must be at least level 40. As he walked, Qi Lu paused suddenly, and then immediately hid his figure. Chapter 53 Flame Demon Wolf. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. At level 40, it should be a professional level monster. As long as we kill this monster tonight, the mission will basically be completed. Qi Lu thought so in his heart, and then looked over. What caught his eye was the face of a young girl. Who are you? They both asked in unison. Then the girl raised her hand, and a bright dagger stabbed her. Wait. The Qianji ball in Qi Li's hand instantly turned into a walking stick, firmly holding the girl's dagger. You are from another mercenary team, right? The girl stared into Qi Li's eyes and said coldly. No, I'm the only one here. Qi Lu quickly defended. The girl frowned slightly, but she did not feel the presence of anyone else, so she relaxed her vigilance slightly and withdrew the attack. However, the dagger in his hand is still ready and can be used at any time. You should be a mercenary team. Are you fighting against professional level monsters? Qi Lu breathed a sigh of relief, and then asked naturally. You also said that you are not from another mercenary team. You must be here to steal our prey. The girl's expression changed, and she stabbed Qi Lu with the dagger in her hand. I'm really not. Qi Lu helplessly raised the cane and held the dagger again. To Qi Lu, the girl's movement seemed like slow motion. But Qi Lu is a store manager, not a killer. There is no way to destroy flowers without any reason. Yojo, support. That while the two were in a stalemate, a clear shout came over. I'll settle the score with you later. The girl Yojo glared at Qi Lu fiercely, then turned around and rushed towards the place where the sound came from. At this time, Qi Lu also saw what was happening ahead. A little girl wearing heavy armor was holding a tower shield taller than herself. Blocking the front, a flame demon wolf was blocked by the tower shield. The wolf's grinning mouth and its sharp white teeth were constantly spitting out flames. A level 48 professional class monster, the Flame Demon Wolf, it is born with the ability to breathe fire and can use a small amount of fire magic. It is a very dangerous monster. Following the little girl was a heroic female knight. There is also a swordsman who is constantly harassing the Flame Demon Wolf, preventing it from attacking wholeheartedly. Ouch! The Flame Demon Wolf roared loudly, and a ball of blazing flames suddenly burst out from its mouth, blasting towards the swordsman. The swordsman tapped his toes on the branch and retreated quickly. The flames passed over the swordsman, and the Flame Demon Wolf suddenly kicked the ground. Its 4 wolf claws made a circle of cracks on the ground, and like a bolt of lightning, it struck the retreating swordsman. Backstab! Yojo suddenly appeared behind the Flame Demon Wolf and stabbed the Flame Demon Wolf in the back of the neck with a dagger. The Flame Demon Wolf's reaction was so fast. The moment Yojo appeared, its body began to flash with little bits of fire. When the dagger touched the fur of the Flame Demon Wolf, a scorching flame suddenly burst out. Fire magic, resist ring of fire. This is one of the spells used by magicians to fight against close enemies. At this moment, it was displayed by the Flame Demon Wolf, and its power was even more terrifying. Magic protection. Xiaoya, who was standing at the back, quickly waved his staff, and a barrier of condensed magic power was cast on Yojo. However, the magic shield in front of the resistance fire ring only lasted for less than 2 seconds before it was torn apart. Yojo was directly knocked back by the resistance fire ring. Chapter 54. I am a store manager, I must not be malicious. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. The swordsman immediately caught Yojo in the air and retreated behind the tower shield. How is Yojo? Lan Yi stood guarding the tower shield, guarding against the Flame Demon Wolf, and asked without looking back. The situation is very bad. Sister Yojo was hit head-on by the resistance fire ring. The magic power of the Flame Demon Wolf was too great. Sister Yojo suffered a lot of burns. After a simple inspection, Xiaoya quickly answered. Is there any way to treat it? Lan Yi asked. I don't have enough magic power right now. I'm afraid I can only go back to Cloud Mist City for treatment. And, if it is not treated in time, not only will the injury worsen, but I am also afraid that it will leave scars. Xiaoya hesitated for a moment, then told the truth. Lan Yi, otherwise, we'd better go back first. Feishua suggested. She is the swordsman who brought Yojo back just now. Yojo was injured trying to protect her, and she felt a little guilty. For girls, scars are more serious marks than any other injury. Although Xiaoya can do healing magic, he can't do anything about scars. To be precise, there should be no magic at all that can be used specifically to heal scars. This is the only way. Zir, prepare to retreat. Lan Yi gritted his teeth, raised the spear in his hand, and changed into a defensive posture, preparing to cover the retreat of others. There are no monsters in the rear. Shao Qi is preparing to build a wall. At this time, a voice also came from the tree. That was the archer, Lan Qinger, who had been at a high place, assisting in covering and observing the surrounding situation. Wait, if you are in a hurry, why not try my elixir? At this time, Qi Lo took it out from nowhere and raised the small porcelain bottle in his hand high. Who are you? Several girls present immediately pointed their weapons at Qi Lo. Don't get me wrong, I am a store manager, and I must not be malicious. Qi Lo looked at the bows and arrows, rapiers, staffs, and even spears pointed at him expressionlessly, without any fluctuations in his heart, even a little want to laugh, because the threat brought to him by so many people was not as strong as that of the man in the trial space. What kind of store manager? You're so sneaky in the middle of the night, you're definitely not a good person. Nalan Qinchi held up the staff, and a small ball of magic power had already condensed on the staff. Let's do this. I'll put the elixir here. You can use it if you want, and leave it if you don't need it. Qi Lo thought of a compromise, then he glanced at the Flame Demon Wolf and said, I'm going to take care of that Flame Demon Wolf first. What did you say? Are you going to take care of the Flame Demon Wolf? Several girls were stunned for a moment, then looked at each other in confusion. In the end, Lan Yi, as the captain, was the first to react and said, No, even if you have ulterior motives, we can't watch you die. Yes, even if you are not a good person, we will not just watch you die. Nalan Chinchi also said. Chi-Lu glanced at the little magician lowly, and then put the small porcelain bottle in his hand on the ground. He said seriously, give the elixir to that girl sooner rather than later. By the way, if you use it, remember to give me 10 spiritual crystals later. This is the price. As soon as he finished speaking, Chi-Lu disappeared in front of several girls. So fast, Lan Yi was shocked. She found that she had completely underestimated this young man who suddenly appeared. Chapter 55, Swallowed Away by a Halberd. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. At this speed, he couldn't even react. If he really had any ideas, he and others would not be discovered at all. Hey, where are the others? Nalan Chinchi stared blankly at the open space in front of him. Only a small porcelain bottle was left. Sister Xiaoya, why is there an extra person in front of me? What should I do? Lan Zier, who was holding up the tower shield, suddenly shouted. Only then did the others realize that Chi-Lu had appeared in front of the flame demon wolf at some unknown moment. Thousands of machine balls, Fang Tian's painting halberd mode. Chi-Lu waved his right hand, and the Qianji ball turned into a square-shaped halberd. When Chi-Lu waved it, the wind howled. Ouch! The flame demon wolf was extremely annoyed by the people from Lan Ye's team. It was really intolerable for someone to dare to appear in front of it at this time. The moment Chi-Lu appeared, the flame demon wolf seemed to turn into a bolt of lightning and rush towards Chi-Lu. That speed was far faster than the previous confrontation with Lan Ye's team. Is this the true strength of the flame demon wolf? Fei Xue's eyes widened in shock. If the flame demon wolf had been so fast before, she would have been unable to contain it from the side. Oh no, that guy is in danger. Lan Qing'er, who was standing at a high place, could see it clearly. The flame demon wolf had turned into an afterimage in her eyes, but Chi-Lu stood there, as if he was frightened. I told him a long time ago not to die. Why didn't he listen? Nalan Chinchi stomped her feet anxiously. Lan Qing'er immediately drew her bow and arrows, trying to interfere with the attack of the flame demon wolf. Frost. Nalan Chinchi also raised his staff. However, at the moment when the flame demon wolf approached, Chi-Lu suddenly turned around, and the Fang Tian painted halberd in his hand made a beautiful trajectory. Bang! The attack of the flame demon wolf happened to pass by Chi-Lu, but the dancing Fang Tian painted halberd hit the flame demon wolf on the waist. A terrifying muffled sound was heard. On Chi-Li's wrist, a delicate and mysterious mark flashed away. Brave level skills, martial arts mastery, passive trigger, crush. Boom! The flame demon wolf was directly thrown away, smashing countless big trees on the way down, and finally hit the ground hard. Lan Qing'er, who had the best eyesight, could clearly see a bloody wound on the waist of the flame demon wolf. Others were even more stunned, with huge waves in their hearts. How could this young man who suddenly appeared be so strong? Lan Ye's team has been in Cloud Mist City for so long, but they have never heard of a strong man who can challenge the flame demon wolf head-on. By the way, the elixir he left behind, Xiaoya, do you have a way to detect whether it is poisonous? Lan Yi suddenly remembered the small porcelain bottle. I'll try. Xiaoya quickly poured out the healing pill left by Chi-Lu. It can't be detected, but I think if he wanted to harm us, there would be no need to go to such trouble. After Xiaoya cast a little magic, he shook his head and said. Sister Xiaoya, let me try. Yojo, you're awake, how are you feeling now? Lan Yi asked quickly after hearing the voice. I don't feel good at all. Yojo smiled bitterly and took a breath before continuing, but that person came here before, and I can feel that there is no malice in him. Do you want to take that pill? Have you decided? Lan Yi asked seriously. She respects her team members' decisions, but the relationship between them is more like sisters than superiors, so Lan Yi definitely doesn't want to see anything happen to Yojo. Chapter 56 It's a Miracle. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. Yeah. Yojo nodded. Xiaoya followed the instructions and fed the healing pill into Yojo's mouth. I hope nothing happens. If something happens to Yojo, no matter how strong you are, I will make you pay the price. Lan Yi looked at Qi Lu with burning eyes. Ah, I'm getting chills behind my back, who's thinking of me? Qi Lu, who was walking towards the flame demon wolf, suddenly sneezed, then rubbed his nose and muttered to himself. The healing pill entered Yojio's mouth and instantly turned into a stream of warmth, beginning to repair her injuries. The scars burned by the flames returned to normal skin at a speed visible to the naked eye. In just a cup of tea, Yojio's injuries disappeared without a trace. If it weren't for the remaining blood stains, no one would believe that there were scars on her body that were difficult to recover just a second ago. Sister Xiaoya, I feel that all my injuries are healed. Yojio closed her eyes for a moment, then opened her eyes and said seriously. Everything is fine. Are you sure? Lan Yi couldn't believe it. It's not that she doesn't want Yojio to recover, it's just that the efficacy of this elixir is incredible. Yeah, I'm sure. Yojio nodded. Oh my god, there is such a magical elixir. Nailan Qinchi picked up the small porcelain bottle, his eyes shining. The effect of this medicine is simply a miracle. Xiaoya was also shocked. Xiaoya deliberately learned healing magic because of her interest, so she knew that healing was a very difficult process. Healing is more complex than destruction, but this small pill simply overturned her previous understanding. He said before that he was a store manager. Could it be that he was the store that sold these elixirs? Fei Xue suddenly remembered Qi Li's introduction to him. Impossible, this is absolutely impossible. How could such a precious elixir be sold? Xiaoya shook his head vigorously, trying to deny it. But didn't he say before that the price of this elixir is 10 spiritual crystals? Fei Xue recalled calmly, 10 spiritual crystals. Such a precious magical elixir was actually sold so cheaply despite being clearly marked with a price tag. Doesn't he know the value of this elixir? For some people who lick blood from the knife edge, this is an extra life. Xiaoya touched his forehead to confirm that he was not hallucinating. Wow, Sister Xiaoya, that person is so powerful. Lan Zier's voice sounded again. What Zier said, couldn't be. Hearing this voice, Yojio looked at Lan Yi and Xiaoya with some hesitation. After she was knocked unconscious by the impact of the resistance fire ring, although she could vaguely feel the situation around her, it was only about the elixir. Yojio didn't know about Qi Lu going to kill the flame demon wolf. If there is no one else around here, it should be the person you met before. Lan Yi nodded, confirming Yojio's guess. No way. Yojio stood up quickly. In front of Lan Zier's tower shield, the flame demon wolf had been sent flying by Qi Lu. Qi Lu also chased after him. Fang Tian's painted halberd was trailing behind him, giving him an ominous feeling. Ouch! The flame demon wolf rolled up from the ground, and blood was constantly dripping from the wound on his waist. Bear! A burst of flames burst out from the flame demon wolf, forming a piece of flame armor that covered the flame demon wolf's body. This human who dared to hurt it actually dared to come over. Chapter 57 Beating the Demonic Wolf. You are listening at NovelsMyriad.audio. The flame demon wolf was angry, and blazing flames burned on his body. The surrounding vegetation was dried up by the terrifying temperature, and even the air was scorched and distorted. Bang! The ground was cracked, leaving 4 clear wolf paw prints. The blazing flames pulled out a line of fire in the sky, like a meteor streaking across the night sky, extremely dazzling. Is this the power of professional level monsters? The temperature of the flames can spread so far. Fei Xue looked at the flames that cut through the night sky with a solemn expression. Lan Yi also bit her lower lip and said with some reluctance, with our current strength, it is still too difficult to defeat a professional level monster. No, that guy is in danger. Yojio said anxiously. Yojio accepted the love for the elixir. If Qi Lu died like this, Yojio would feel bad. However, Qi Li's actions can always exceed their imagination. Too slow. Qi Lu touched the ground with the Fang Tianhua halberd in his hand, and he flew up like a piece of duckweed, passing over the head of the flame demon wolf. The moment the flame demon wolf appeared below him, Qi Lu flipped his wrist. Fang Tian's painted halberd struck the wound on the flame demon wolf's waist from an incredible angle. Boom! With a muffled sound, the flame demon wolf flew out again. Qi Lu put Fang Tian's painted halberd on his shoulders and slowly chased the flame demon wolf again. In terms of pure speed, Qi Lu is far inferior to the flame demon wolf, but in battle, moving around is the most important thing. With Qi Li's strong reflexes and proficient martial arts skills, and with the help of Qian Ji Qiu, it is not a problem at all to deal with professional class monsters, unless it has attributes in all aspects. It is a crushing enemy. Otherwise, Qi Lu can confidently say that he is not targeting anyone, but that everyone here is rubbish. Is this how he beat the flame demon wolf before? Yojo looked at the others blankly. Yes, that's right. It's really strong. Everyone in Lan Ye's team was dumbfounded. They had never imagined that there would be someone who could hang up the flame demon wolf and beat him. At least ordinary professional warriors would never be able to do it. However, if a strong man from the professional class comes to Yinwu City, there is no reason for them not to know about it. No, he seems to be only at the brave level, level 30. Nayland Qinchi used an insight eye on Qi Lu, and the energy fluctuations he observed clearly showed that he was only at level 30. The eye of insight is a magic used to detect the target's strength. The strength detected using magic is definitely more accurate than pure perception. Brave level, it's impossible. Xiaoya's eyes widened. You read that right, Xiao Qi. Fei Shua swallowed. Defying the flame demon wolf at level 30? Oh my god, I wanted to catch him before. Yojo felt a burning sensation on her face when she thought of this, a warrior-level monster that challenges professional-level monsters. It's not that there is no precedent for this, but those who can do it are all extremely skilled in martial arts, and every one of them has become a famous strong man in history. You must know that the professional level is different from the brave level. The meaning of the brave level is the introduction to power and the initial mastery of one's own power. The professional class is a small gap in the early stage. Chapter 58 The Meaning of Professional Class. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. If you want to obtain the seal of a class, you must temper your own strength and make a choice about your lifetime career, whether it's a warrior, a knight, an assassin, or an elemental mage. Obtaining the seal of a class is equivalent to choosing one's own class. The power of heaven and earth will bless the seal of the class. This is a powerful increase, but it also seems like a restriction that cannot be achieved at the same time. To give a simple example, a brave level magician can use all the magic that can be learned at his or her level. Professional class magicians, such as professional class fire element magicians, will be greatly strengthened when using fire magic. When using universal magic, it will not be strengthened. However, a fire element magician cannot release other types of magic. It is for this reason that some professional classes who are particularly good at single combat can compete with professional class monsters in single combat. However, a brave level man went to challenge professional level monsters. This is really shocking. Looking at Qi Lu again, the flame demon wolf was knocked to the ground by Qi Lu again, and the flames on his body had already been extinguished. What was originally a loud howl has now turned into a dying whine. I have the materials, but I don't know what I can synthesize them into. Qi Lu turned Fang Tian's painted halberd and pierced the throat of the flame demon wolf, ending its sinful life. This scene once again shocked everyone in Lan Ye's team. That's it, solved. Then why did we work so hard for so long? He actually killed the flame demon wolf so easily. Is he really just a brave person? That the girls in Lan Ye's team were all stunned. They discovered that since this man appeared, they had been shocked more times than in the previous year combined. No matter what aspect it is shocking. You must know that professional level monsters are not as good as brave level monsters. Their hard fur alone is a big problem. Unless powerful fighting spirit is added to the weapon, the fur of these professional class monsters can be easily pierced. Otherwise, attacking with magic would be more effective, but the man in front of him actually easily pierced the flame demon wolf's throat with his weapon. Lan Yi and the others were certain that there was no fighting spirit wrapped around the weapons. So it seems that there is only one answer, that is, that weapon is definitely a treasure. Who is he? This question hovered in the minds of Lan Yi and others. Precious elixirs, treasure-level weapons, and terrifying martial arts. No matter which one it is, taken alone, it can set off a storm. Now that all these things are concentrated on one person, how can it not be shocking? Demon core, wolf fangs, wolf claws, wolf skin. Let's add 2 bones this time. Chi-Lo turned the 1000 machine ball into a boning knife very skillfully and removed the materials he wanted, then put it into the material synthesizer. After cleaning up, Chi-Lo returned to this group of girls. You should have used my elixir. Chi-Lo glanced at the small porcelain bottle held by Nalan Chinchi. Yes, thank you for the elixir. My name is Yojo. Can you tell me your name? It took a long time for Yojo to recover and quickly thanked you. You're welcome, my name is Chi-Lo, and I'm a store manager. Chi-Lo waved his hand. Chapter 59. You still owe me 10 spiritual crystals. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. Brother, you are so powerful. Lan Zier also dragged the tower shield and ran to Chi-Lo, looking at him with bright eyes. This is nothing. There are many people who are better than me. Chi-Lo said seriously, these are not polite words. When it comes to a life and death battle, Chi-Lo cannot survive 3 moves in the hands of the guy in the trial space. After all, the main purpose of the trial space is to train Chi-Lo, instead of killing Chi-Lo, but to other people's ears, it doesn't mean that. Mr. Chi is really humble. Lan Qing'er jumped down from the tree and said politely. Sister, I'm hungry, can I eat now? Lan Zier immediately changed her target when she saw Lan Qing'er. Well, Chi-Lo, you should still have this kind of elixir. Nalan Chinchi hesitated for a while before speaking. Chi-Lo took a serious look at the little Lolita holding a small porcelain bottle, then nodded and said seriously, when I mentioned this, I remembered that you still owe me 10 spiritual crystals. The previous healing pill was not given for free by the system. If Chi-Lo uses it himself, it would be free. After all, money is spent when purchasing goods. However, if it is used by other people, Chi-Lo can at best take out the products on the shelf anytime and anywhere. Not one of the spiritual crystals that should be given should be missing. As soon as these words came out, the scene suddenly became a little awkward. However, Chi-Lo still looked expressionless. Of course, here are 10 spiritual crystals. It took Lanya a long time to take out his wallet and end the embarrassing scene. Since everything is fine, I'll leave first. I have to open a store tomorrow. Chi-Lo counted the numbers and then stuffed the spiritual crystal into his arms. Manager Chi-Lo, do you have the same kind of elixir in your store? Xiaoya asked quickly. Of course, my store is in Yinhua City, you can come and take a look when you have time. After Chi-Lo said that, he turned and left. He was really sleepy. Sister Xiaoya. Xiaoya glanced at Lanya. We'll go tomorrow. Let's ask about the weapons tomorrow. Let's rest tonight. Lanyi knew what Xiaoya wanted to say. Camp where you are. This place used to be the territory of the flame demonic wolf. No demonic beast will dare to come here for the time being. Fei Xue said calmly as she put away the rapier in her hand. Sister, shall we eat wolf meat tonight? Lan Zier looked at the remaining wolf meat of the flame demon wolf, and the saliva in her mouth couldn't stop flowing out. The meat of Warcraft has always been edible, and because it is moistened with energy, it tastes better than ordinary meat. Yes, we will eat wolf meat tonight. Lan Qing'er said helplessly. Great. Lan Zier cheered, trotted over and dragged the flame demon wolf's corpse over. Although Chi-Lo took away a lot of it, there was still enough wolf meat left. Eating meat again. Nalan Chinchi pouted and pinched his fleshy belly. Children need to eat more meat to grow taller. Lan Qing'er smiled and touched the little Loli's head. Yojo had already quietly raised the fire. On the way back, Chi-Lo was still very fast. After returning to the store, Chi-Lo took out the material synthesizer as soon as he closed the door. System, you can start synthesizing. Chi-Lo looked expectantly at the material synthesizer in front of him, which contained a bunch of materials such as wolf teeth and claws. Chapter 60 Extra Rewards. You are listening at NovelsMyriad. The material synthesizer, which looks like a storage tank, began to buzz after Chi-Lo pressed the synthesis button. Then under Chi-Li's expectant eyes, there was a boom and an explosion. Chi-Lo had a dark look on his face and wanted to curse, but he didn't know where to start. System, synthetic item, Wolf King armor. System, evaluation, above excellent level, below rare level, armor type, upgrade task completed, rewards will be distributed. It turns out that I worked hard all night to collect the materials, and the synthesized items don't belong to me. Chi Li's face was full of question marks. System, the host can choose to obtain the Wolf King armor, but additional rewards will not be issued. I don't know what the Wolf King armor is. Chi Lu said righteously. System, the upgrade task is completed, the host store manager level is raised by 1 level, the trial room level is raised by 1 level, professional level trials can be conducted, the excellent level elixir egg pool is opened, the combat power improvement training room is opened, and the share is increased to 100%. 10 out of 10. System, additional reward, ordinary level and excellent level armor egg pools are opened. System, since the host's novice period has ended, the purchase channel is, ordinary level egg pool, and the normal purchase price is restored, 10 gold coins. System, you plotted against me. Although Chilo knew in advance that the normal purchase price of the ordinary level egg pool would return to normal, at this moment, Chilo still inevitably felt a little devastated. System, upgrade completed, I hope the host will continue to work hard. Open personal properties. Host, Chilo, store manager level, level 3. Number of stores owned, 1. Purchase channels, elixir egg pool, ordinary, excellent, weapon egg pool, ordinary, excellent, armor egg pool, ordinary, excellent. Owned shop buildings, trial room, level 2, combat power improvement training room, level 1, evaluation, junior store manager, I have a certain understanding of opening a store and have made some achievements, but please keep up the good work. If the system can stop complaining about me, it should be a good system. Chi Lo rubbed his temples with a headache, and then opened the armor egg pool. The purchase price is the same as the weapon egg pool, 10 gold coins for the ordinary level and 50 gold coins for the excellent level. After all, elixirs are consumables, and weapons and armors are equipment. It is reasonable that elixirs should be cheaper. I should still have some spare money on hand. Let's buy some armor first and enrich the products in the store. Chi Lu took out a few spiritual crystals from the cashier box, then he pressed the lottery button for the ordinary level armor egg pool, ordinary leather armor, ordinary iron armor, ordinary cloth armor, ordinary heavy armor. What the hell? Do you have to use ordinary as the prefix for the ordinary level armor egg pool? It also prevents people from properly purchasing it. Fortunately, Chi Lu was just testing the waters and took 10 shots. The excellent armor rewarded by 10 consecutive draws is refined chain mail, refined chain armor, slightly improves the user's physical defense, and also has a hard armor effect. Hard armor, entering combat will increase a small amount of physical defense. Standard product description, Chi Lu basically only looks at the effects of these equipment now, because all excellent level equipment has been slightly improved, but this small increase in physical defense can definitely defend against more than half of the physical attacks at the brave level, if you have to quantify it. Excellent level equipment is probably over 30 levels.